Hello, friends from Human Geography and Early World History. I hope this video finds you well. I just recently posted an assignment for today that had to do with drawing, which may have had some of you fretting a little bit. I'm hoping the videos will sort of bring a sense of ease that this is not a high-stress assignment at all, just intended to be fun, and really thinking about the connections that you make as you do the reading. As you make these drawings, the drawings are going to reinforce whatever connections you are making around the historical evidence dealing with the fall or collapse of the Han and the Roman empires, and basically what were the consequences of those falls. So I'm going to produce for you a crude drawing myself. If you see, I have two images here that would be the Han Dynasty and the Roman Dynasty, represented by the wall, and this is supposed to be the Colosseum. And again, you see the arrow pointing down here, showing that the empires are falling. What happened as a result of those falls? Well, with the Han Dynasty, you had basically the division. Here you have the emperor, and the emperor's power is no more. It has now been superseded by military leaders throughout China that really have the control, where the emperor is just sort of a figurehead at this point. We continue along the thread for China. You have the division of the country into three separate kingdoms. The K's represent kingdoms, and this reminds me, like, this is how I did it. You can do it any way you want, whatever works for you. Then you also had a period of a lot of nomads coming into the country. So here you have my stick figures that are basically following these arrows and wandering from place to place. And what happened as a result of all this was the emergence of Buddhism. So here's my picture of Happy Buddha and the arrow going up, meaning that Buddhism was on the rise at this point in time. Rome followed a similar trajectory. You have the fall of Rome. I'm having trouble pointing with the camera. I'm confused. It's counterintuitive, but bear with me. So here you have the fall of Rome. Why did Rome fall? Because of internal corruption, as evidenced by this sick belly here. Here's Rome and the internal corruption represented by the X in the belly, but you also had external factors. These G's represent the Germanic tribes that were on the outskirts of Rome and invaded from the outside. What ended up happening as a result? Well, Rome's imperial authority also dwindled, much like it did for Han China, and you had the breakup of Rome into four tetrarchs. That's what the T's stand for. As a result, what ends up happening? The emergence or the rise of Christianity. So you have some similarities here with the falls of the empires. Both had resulted in the rise of different religions. Both had breakups that divided the empire into several sections, and both had corruption and the loss of power among the emperor as a cause behind their fall. Again, how you decide to do it is entirely up to you. Whatever drawing you use to make your connections will help you, even those of you who can't draw, because look at this. This is not great artwork, but it is definitely reminding me of what it is I needed to remember that were the common threads between the two empires and why they fell. Just a couple of housekeeping items. Remember, some of you have still not turned in those two formatives that were actually supposed to be done before we stopped going to school. And I think that's it. There are some other assignments that are out there that you should be doing. Just keep checking Google Classroom. Keep sending me emails if you have any questions. A lot of you have been doing that, and I've been trying to help. Thank you for doing that, because I want to be here and try to make this work as much as possible. Start brainstorming now, because we're coming technically to the end of the third quarter, and we have to figure out, well, we only have two formative assessments. How are we going to have some sort of culminating assessment that will cover all of the classic period that we have studied thus far? Again, doing it through distance learning is going to be a challenge, but I want you brainstorming and thinking about it, and we'll come up with an idea together that will make this, as painless as possible. That's really the mission here. So I hope you are all well, and I will see you soon. Take care.